Hello, everyone. I am Becky Julian, and I am happy to be your discussion leader this week. We are reading part 3 from our text, which looks at examples of authentic ESP courses. There are three examples that we're going to go over, and I'm going to briefly review each example, and then we'll quickly connect them by highlighting some key patterns. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So to start, I want to briefly frame what we're looking at this week. This week's readings were a little different from previous weeks because we're not introducing new concepts, but rather taking what we've learned and looking at what ESP looks like in practice. The sections look at different course examples, but they all focus on real world context, both academic success and workplace professional communication. So across all the examples, a few common ideas stand out. Language is tied to specific professions. There's a strong focus on real task and communication, and they all include some cultural or professional expectations, including cross-cultural communication. So this is our first example, language in the workplace business context. It focuses on language in a professional business workplace. The goal is to prepare learners for professional communications, things like meetings, email, and presentations. It also highlights, excuse me, both formal and informal communication, as well as some cross-cultural interactions in a global business environment. The teaching approach is project-based and grounded in real-world scenarios. For example, learners complete research projects using case studies, as well as participating within those projects in meetings, writing professional emails, or giving short presentations. So instead of just learning some vocabulary or grammar, they're practicing the kind of tasks that they'll actually need to do in their professional setting. Our next example, the focus shifts to English for cross-cultural nursing. When I first saw this, I thought it was going to really be on the nursing profession, but as I read, I realized that this was more about the goal for this course is more to prepare learners to focuses mainly on academic language for nursing students while introducing professional communication. The goal here is to support students in completing their program by helping them develop key skills like reading, writing, listening, and oral communication. This includes a strong focus on understanding academic materials, participating in class activities, building language connected to nursing content. It also introduces workplace communication like interview skills, therapeutic communication, and assertiveness training to help them with their nurse to patient interactions. Overall, the teaching approach seems to focus really on the academic task tied to their nursing course with nursing coursework with some inclusion of real-world workplace communication skills. And this is our third example. In this final example, the focus is on English for lawyers. The goal of this course is to prepare learners for communication in legal context with a strong emphasis on understanding language within the legal profession. This involves knowledge of legal vocabulary, formal written communication, and professional interactions. The key feature of this course is it's very needs driven. The participants can change, the type of participant can change from year to year. So the course really requires that ongoing needs analysis to stay relevant. There's a strong focus on productive skills, especially writing and speaking, which are essential in a legal context. The teaching approach will includes analyzing legal texts and focusing on genre and discourse conventions with that specialized legal language, helping learners understand not just the language, but how it's structured and used within the legal profession. So on this slide is where we really tie it all together. First, all of these courses are designed around specific professions like the business world, nursing, or law. And they're really, really based on the needs of their learners and the context in which they're learning. They also use authentic materials and focus on real world communication. So students are working with language they actually need in their field. The activities are aligned to specific professional and academic context, whether it's workplace tasks, academic coursework, or discipline-specific communication. Another important point that I wanted to mention, something I noticed when I was reading the courses that I thought was really interesting, is the responsiveness to learners' characteristics and contextual factors. So, for example, and this is one that really stuck out to me in the business course under the special interest and constraints, the design considers cultural factors for Emirati female students. So, because of their culture, certain tasks like collecting data in a public place that's not part of their community may not be appropriate for all students. So, alternative options would need to be provided and considered. It also accounts for different different levels of language proficiency. Similarly, the nursing course is shaped by academic demands of the program. And the time constraints of that program, the nurses don't necessarily have a lot of time for elective courses, so that has to be considered. The law course adapts based on the types of participants it has every year. It's a very limited participant list, and they do that through ongoing needs analysis. Overall, these courses go beyond language by preparing learners by preparing learners to communicate effectively and participate in their professional communities. So this week we really got to see ESP in practice. It's not just about teaching language, as we know, but really about preparing learners to use their language effectively in their real context. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this presentation helps you this week, and I look forward to our discussion. Thank you.